You got nothing.
All right. So perhaps I was a just a little biased slash negative towards the Saints Row reboot in my previous videos, just partially. And the reason why I say that is because I might have been like a little bit mean-ish because with the reboot, you know, we kind of got some BS. I'm not gonna lie, we kind of got some BS. Like when you started the Saints Row reboot, you didn't think we'd get those characters. Let's be real. You didn't think we'd get that story. You thought we would get Stillwater. Now a lot of you probably are like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. Like it's a new theme, it's a new setting. Yeah, that makes sense. But let's be real. Y'all 100% thought that like it was just going to be kind of gang like from Saints Row 1 or 2. Hell, even Saints Row 3 and 4 like, you know, but instead we got Ages of Mayhem mixed with Saints Row 4. We'll go 3.5. But yeah, so like you can understand. Like I hope y'all understand why certain like OG Saints Row fans are just like fed up, you know. But in this video, I'll be like trying to defend it, trying to explain my best why people are upset, and I'm just going to like just be talking about it, man. So yeah, I also hope that you guys can agree, or if you don't agree, can understand from my point of view. So that being said, let's get into it. I'm gonna try not to say the stuff I said in the last videos, but maybe I'll just do the same shit because, you know, sometimes you just gotta repeat yourself when nobody's listening, you feel me? Anyways, let's get into the video. So first of all, with the Saints Row reboot, at first, you know, we thought we was gonna get like an old Saints Row 1 type 2 type game. And the reason we thought that was because, you know, they had the graffiti on the wall and they said they were rebooting the series, meaning they're going back to square one, but in a different base, different universe. So pretty much with rebooting the game, like it's basically like starting over, but in a whole nother like universe basically. So everything that happens in the normal Saints Row universe, Saints Row 1 through 4, basically none of that happens. None of that happens at all, and that's basically erased. So in this universe, basically, we're gonna build up the Saints in a different fashion. Because in Saints Row 1, Julius basically recruited you, and then the rest is history. In this Saints Row, I guess you already got like a squad, so you're no need for recruitment, right? But then they gave us characters that didn't really look like gangsters. They didn't really look like Saints, and that's why people like Saints Row fans like me, like the originals, like that's why some of us was kind of like, what the hell is this bullshit? Because, you know, in my in my eyes, I see that as disrespect because I feel like they're disrespecting the old characters when they say Saints Row and then they give us new characters. Like I can't relate these characters to any of the gang characters from the game. It just doesn't feel right. Like I don't know. They don't look like Saints, then I'm just gonna preach that they don't look like Saints. And even if they are customizable, still like the player in Saints Row 1, 2, and 3, before he was customizable, he already looked like he was in a gang. So I don't understand why they're making this gang look less intimidating. You feel me? And I feel like that's disrespectful. I do like the character concepts. Like Kevin, he's cool. He seems like a cool character. But just having the title, just having the name Saints in there just doesn't fit it. And that's partially why I was upset. Another reason was because like it took place in a different place. It wasn't Stillwater, and the other gangs looked more like gangs like. Not only that, but the overall just game style just seem more Fortnite-ish and just don't seem like something you'd see in a Saints game. And I agree with that. I do agree with that, but you know, change is necessary, I guess. Like, cause it is in a different universe, so it kind of does make sense. It doesn't make sense how they're called the Saints, though. That I don't care if it's a different universe. It's basically them disrespecting the Saints, and they better not mention anything about Gat, Dex, any of that shit. I really I really hope they just squash that shit and just let it go, because if they bring old Saints Row references, that might piss me off. The game can be good, the game can be amazing, the gameplay can be epic. It's not going to be better than Saints Row 1 and 2 though. So if you got your hopes up with this game being better than Saints Row 1 and 2, well, I hate to break it to you, but it's not. Think about it like this. Black Ops 3 was worse than Black Ops 2 and 1. Black Ops 4 was way worse than Black Ops 3, 1, and 2. 2K18 was worse than 2K17 and 16. 2K21 was way worse than them. You know, and it just goes the same. Like, most of these games are basically just dying out, and like they just don't hit like what they used to. And you could just say that's because we're growing up. That's because like the pandemic or whatever your excuse is. It's kind of true, because GTA 5 is not as fun to play anymore. It's just like these newer games just aren't as good as what they used to be, and we're waiting years for GTA 6 to come, and that's probably gonna disappoint. So for those saying that the reboot is supposed to be better than Saints Row 1 and 2, I had to break it to you, but it's not. Because back then you were able to make games way better than what they actually were, and society wasn't as soft. And I'm not throwing shade out to anybody out there when I say that. I'm just saying that overall games are just getting worse. Everything's just getting worse. Like if you look at it the right way, everything's kind of getting worse in life. And I'm not even trying to sound mental. Like you look at the NFL, that shit is not like what it used to be. You know, when you got hard hits, when you got intimidating defenses, no TikTok, and you know, great players. Nowadays, you just have jersey swaps. You have fucking taunting penalties and all that shit. And with the NBA, you could say, oh, well, there's super teams now, and back then, you know, it was way more interesting to watch. Now it's not as interesting. That's kind of how it goes, man. That it's just kind of like a life lesson. So that's kind of what I gotta wrap up. This game can be good. Don't get me wrong. This game can be really good, and I kind of am excited to play it and watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking forward to it because it's a new game and a new route, and maybe, just maybe, like I'll fuck up when I play this game or stream this game, whatever I'm gonna do. And yeah, so that kind of wraps up the topic of the reboot. Let me know what y'all think. My personal opinion, like, they could have tried to go with a Saints Row game. I understand why they couldn't go with a Saints Row 1 and 2 game, because, you know, back then they could use dirty humor. You could just do so much back then, but nowadays, like, you know, you might get canceled for like the wrong thing. Once again, that's not shade thrown out to anybody. It's just a life lesson. So now with me wrapping up this video, I'm just going to be talking about what they could have done and how the story could have like ended. So I do plan on doing future videos, like a Dex video, a Troy video, like more videos like that. The only problem is I don't have the content for Saints Row 1 and 2. So once I actually start, like, you know, becoming a D1 editor and shit like that, you know, then I can actually get some clips, or if I can record from PlayStation Now or something. I don't know. But yeah, so in Saints Row 1, they left off the game horrible. Like, the game was not supposed to end with the boss basically dying not dying, getting blown up in a boat. That was not supposed to happen at all. But due to like lazy writing or something, it was something, they fucked it up, and then we got Saints Row 2, and they did amazing off of that. Like, honestly, Saints Row, although they fucked it up, they bounced back. So the potential's kind of there for the reboot, but at the same time, I don't believe it. So yeah, but since they messed up with that, they made Saints Row 2 so good, and then they kind of fucked up with Saints Row 3 and 4, and now the reboot, it's looking like they're gonna fuck up again. But if I'm being completely honest, yo, like, I kind of wish that they just went with like a Saints Row 5 and continued after like Get Out of Hell. I kind of wish you got the option to choose one of those options, or I kind of just wish, like, you know, it could have just all been a dream. They could have said some bullshit like, oh, it was a dream when the boss was in a coma. Here's Saints Row 5. You take over Stillwater again. Some bullshit like that. I kind of wish they would have done something like that, because Now there's a big question, like what happened to Dex? What happened to Troy, Legal Lee? What happened to all those older characters? And I know for a fact that the Earth fucking blew up, so they're all dead. It's kind of like, who cares? But someone like me cares, because Dex was my favorite character. I didn't really fuck with Troy that much. He was funny in the first game, but in the second game he wasn't used. But like, what happened to, like, they can't just leave. That's just bullshit. And then they get replaced with new characters. Don't get me wrong, Kenzie's sweet and sexy, but bro, I just miss the older characters. And they only had Viola for half a game, and then just said, okay, she's not coming back for Saints Row 4. Like Oleg came back in Saints Row 4 for a little bit, and yeah, like they brought back Ben King, but they can't bring back Dex or anything. That's kind of crazy, man. And that's all I gotta say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you do. Comment, subscribe, share. See you in the next one.